YouTube, welcome back. I want to do another commute vlog, as I guess what I'm calling them. I don't know why I'm doing it in the morning. I should probably do them in the afternoon. It's just been a really boring commute, so I'm just about to work, but I wanted to do another quick one. It snowed pretty good last night. Not as much as I thought. We've got about 8 or 9 inches of snow. Roads are fine around here, at least, for my drive into work. There's, of course, accidents all over the place. But, even if it rains hard enough, people just forget how to drive completely. It's pretty interesting how just traffic is just massively affected by weather, and you could get, something as simple as, a little bit of snow like this, and it just adds doubles your commute. I've been on the road for almost 50 minutes now, and normally my commute's about a half hour. And then another thing that bothers me when you're going to work, it's like right where I am right now, this 4-lane highway splits 2 ways. You can, it changes highways, and then those 2 lanes in that highway go down to 1 lane because they're doing some construction on the bridge over here. But whose bright idea was it to do all this construction, not finish it before winter? And I apologize for the lighting right now. I seem a little bit washed out. The sun's kind of rising, and it's a little bit weird. Another reason why I should probably do these in the afternoon. But back to this. I'm driving on this 1-lane construction road right now, and there's 3 lanes of a bridge that aren't open next to me. There's a concrete barrier right here you can kind of see. But whose bright idea was it to take on this project, not finish it before winter, because not too much road construction gets done during the winter months from, January to April, and then not finish this, but keep it down close to 1 lane. So, I mean, if you had those other 3 lanes open, obviously that's a lot better than just 1 lane. But it's like, what civil engineer got hired? Like, how cheap is this city to actually hire somebody, who can't get the job done? Or, is it a money thing, and we're going to go with the cheap guy, but it's going to take 3 times as long, and you're going to have this problem over the winter? But I don't drive to work that way, so it doesn't matter to me. Or, do we actually spend some money on our roads and get this done properly? And I'm sure every major city has this issue, and I'm not alone in this situation, but it just boggles my mind, like, whose bright idea was it to let that happen and to hire somebody who would let that happen? It's like, somebody's got to be getting fired around here, because if I'm their boss and this project is so far behind, and just, you get a very small fraction of it done by, winter, and you can't put any, realistic temporary solution together, it's just ridiculous. So traffic's traffic, you deal with it, and you get to work either way if it takes you an extra, 10 or 20 minutes or whatnot. Snow's not terrible this morning. It is pretty gloomy, and the sun's trying to come up. But I guess changing topics, the elections are obviously coming up, and this is just after the New Hampshire primary, so if you're following politics, and I feel like as I get older, I like to follow politics more, and maybe that's just because I'm exposed to it a little bit more, with listening to the radio and, listening to some talk shows, and just some of my media choices, expose me more to politics. But I've been following the primaries, and they've been very interesting. And now I don't know who I'm voting for yet, and I don't want to say because I don't want to stir the pot. But our 2 frontrunners currently, Mr. Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump, are very interesting choices. Donald Trump, obviously, he is very radical, and he's not a politician. I like that. People don't want another politician. That's why I think a lot of candidates like Ben Carson and some other, low on the political spectrum people like even Hillary Clinton, are popular because they're not the typical politician. They're not, corrupt like these politicians, or they're not, polluted by, 30 years of being in politics. So I think that's sort of some of the appeal to people who like Donald Trump. But I think that American voters really want something different this year. Even Bernie Sanders, he's great. I love his message. I love his enthusiasm. I love how positive he is, and how he can just have a solution for every issue. But either way, Bernie is very far left, and I think that concerns some voters. And Donald Trump is the opposite. He's very, very far right. And there's really no middle candidate, besides maybe Hillary Clinton. But she worries me in a lot of ways. But it's very interesting. I want to know what you think. If you're decided, or if you already know who you're going to vote for, or maybe you're not going to vote at all, or maybe some of this politics is something you're not interested in. But I just want to touch on that very quickly. I'm almost to work, so I'm trying to speed this up. And then what else were we talking about? What else was I listening to on the news today? I can't remember. I've been zoning in and out. I've been trying to stay awake this morning. It's like 8 o'clock right now. It's not a huge, not like it's like 5 o'clock in the morning right now or anything like that, but still tired. So let me know. Keep giving me your feedback. I know they were talking about, the usual tragedies in the world, like ISIS and Syria, and that's a fucked up place over there, let me tell you. And then they were talking about the Pope, and he's coming to Mexico, and Mexico's obviously a very big Christian community, and they talk about how drugs really rule that country, and the Pope's just going to dive right in there, and he's going to go to all these typically bad drug cities, and he's going to really take these issues head on. So there's a lot of security concerns for him, and that'll be interesting because I don't know what kind of bodyguards or anything that the Pope has. I know he's got his Pope mobile and he's got a couple bodyguards that walk with him, but man, you go into some rough parts of town with drug cartels and stuff. They've been really, drug cartels have been assassinating priests and stuff that they've been saying over there. It's a rough decision. The new Pope, I'm not big into religion and everything, but the new Pope, man, he is a cool guy. He is brave. He is very fearless on a lot of issues. He's not a typical Pope like the last million we've had over the last million years. So he's an interesting guy. Though I don't condone much of religion, he's got a very interesting message for those that are of the Catholic faith. So I'm just about to get Porsche Panamera up there. Not a huge fan. Let me talk about that real quick. Porsche Panamera. If you're a Top Gear fan, and I'm a Top Gear fan, and I like all those car shows and everything. American Top Gear is pretty gay though, but they have their moments. I'm right behind a Panamera. Top Gear always jokes. The worst thing about driving a Porsche Panamera is you have to look at yourself driving a Porsche Panamera because they're ugly. They're horribly ugly. But I think a lot of people disagree with me. A lot of my coworkers and friends that I've mentioned that to, if I see one on the road, oh no, that's the coolest looking thing ever. Not me. I would never drive one. Hey, if I was given one, better believe I'm driving one of those. That's like a $75,000 car right there. But if I had a choice, probably not. So I'm just getting to work. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys want me to talk about politics? Do you guys want me to talk about more tech stuff? I am going to try to start up Tech Tuesdays again. So I want to do Tech Talks, but I'm going to add more alliteration to that. I'm going to do Tech Talk Tuesday. And then, make that happen. It'll be, you know, a half hour or whatever I used to make them about, of just tech news, and try to keep everybody up to date. And it'll be a little bit different. I have some other news sources that are a little bit different than the typical, you know, ooh, what new iPhone 9 rumors are there? I don't care about that kind of stuff. But just getting to work. So let me know what you guys think, and give me your feedback, and I will see you guys in the next one as soon as I finish backing my car up. All right, guys. See you in the next one.